Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, Force here, and today we will be featuring the Murloc Shock deck. This is a Murloc focused deck using the Shaman as our hero of choice. We've got some creature control with Earth Shock and Hex, as well as some damage with Lava Burst, and then some abilities to pump up our Murlocs, such as Rockbiter Weapon, Windfury, and Bloodlust. So here in this video, we're going to show you a couple of games, and then we'll finish up by taking a look at the deck list and talking about the deck's strengths and weaknesses.
Brawl versus Anduin.
Alright, so the main purpose here in the Murloc Shock deck is we're trying to overwhelm our opponent and kill them by around turn 5, at which point we can drop a Bloodlust and just take them over with all of the Murlocs that we have. And we're also trying to do a significant amount of damage beforehand. Everything between the first turn and the 5th turn is about getting your Murlocs in play, chipping away at their health, and also trying to mitigate any creatures that they drop in play. We're going to start off here with the Grimscale Oracle. This Murloc is a 1/1 that gives all your other Murlocs +1 attack. Now next turn we'll be dropping down the Murloc Tidehunter, which is a 2/1 in and of itself, and it also summons another 1/1 Murloc. So we're trying to get as many Murlocs into play as possible, and then again, just overwhelm them by turn 5. You can even do it on turn 4 if you happen to get the coin from going second. But again, as you saw here, I have gone first this game, so I don't have that opportunity of getting that coin for the extra mana crystal on turn 4, which would allow for a turn 4 Bloodlust. So you can see already we've got a few Murlocs in play. Next turn we could potentially do 6 damage, even more if I decided to Windfury. I might do that actually. I might drop the Grimscale and then Windfury with this guy, which will be 8 damage just from him. So we'll have to see what my opponent here is going to do. Looks like he's about to ping this thing off or do something to it. 3 damage. Destroy a minion with 3 or less attack. Okay, so unfortunately, not going to be able to do the 8 damage that I'd hoped for, but... Ooh, this will be really good. We can turn 4 hit very hard with this Murloc. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold off on the Windfury. We're going to start off here. We'll drop this Murloc into play. And we will drop this Murloc into play as well. Okay, so this turn I'll be able to hit for 5. You can see how this damage can rack up pretty quickly. Next turn, I could potentially do 8 damage with this one Murloc. That would be pretty crazy. So we'll have to see if he survives for the turn. It would be 8 damage with this plus 7 damage total. Let's see though, he's got something. He's got a 4-drop coming right now that he just popped the mana crystal for. So let's take a look at exactly what it is. I'm hoping it's just a creature with taunt. Oh boy, this is very, very good for us. He is in a heck of a lot of trouble. Okay, so we have the Lava Burst for 5 damage. The big thing right now though is that we are about to hit him for a significant amount of damage. We're going to place the Windfury right here. This will turn this into 8 damage off of this one creature. And actually, I should have dropped a totem first, just in case. Yeah, nothing special, but... And then we're going to do the rest of this damage through, and next turn, unless he can clear my board, we're going to Bloodlust, and that will be for the victory. And we even have the Lava Burst, in case that doesn't work out in our favor. We got extra 5 damage from the Lava Burst. So this was a perfect game for this deck, pretty much, barring whatever's going to happen this turn. This is exactly the situation you hope for. You get your Murlocs in play. If your opponent can't or doesn't pick them off within the first 3 turns, by turn 4 or 5, you are in a very, very strong position, especially if you can pop a Bloodlust, which I will be doing next turn. I'm pretty excited. This game could actually not have gone any better, to be honest with you. So let's see what he's going to do. He's got 4 resource with which to work from. He's going to pick off my Murloc that pumps up my other Murlocs, dropping their strength that much. And he could still heal himself for 2, or let's see what he's going to play here. He is going to restore 2 health. He's playing this creature. He's got 3 resource left. He's going to play a creature with taunt. That is still not enough to save him, so we win. So here it is, the turn 5 victory, exactly what this deck is built around. Here's the Bloodlust, gives all my minions +3, just like that. We're gonna kill off his taunt with this, and then the rest of our damage goes through for the win. All right, let's take a look at a second game now. That was an ideal situation. Let's see another game where hopefully things will go a little bit awry.
Thrall versus Thrall.
For doom
Okay, so our next game here is against another Thrall. My opening hand is actually... I'm going to get rid of one of these Flametongues because I'm hoping for a turn 1 or 2 drop for a Murloc. I don't... 2 Flametongues isn't... Okay, so there we go. I got a turn 2 drop Murloc. That is good. And let's see what we draw into as well. We drew into the Bloodlust. Okay, so nothing first turn, but next turn we'll drop the Murloc Tidehunter. The turn after that, we can place down the Coldlight Oracle or the Flametongue, depending on sort of what my opponent has at that point. He's going to start off with a Mana Crystal. Let's see what he drops first turn. Is it just for a totem? No, it is not. He's going to play a Novice Engineer, which is the 1/2. Let's take a look at what we could do. I'm going to do this and just hope he doesn't kill my Murloc. And hope he goes for me, but chances are pretty good he's gonna go straight for the 2/1. But the thing with this deck is it really starts to lose steam after turn 5 or 6. You get to turn 7 plus, this deck is in a bit of trouble. So in fact, he is starting off sort of with the perfect situation. This is kind of tough, to be honest with you. I think this turn what I will do is we're going to Hex that, drop him down so that I can kill him. Because I don't want to lose too many of my Murlocs. I need to keep as many of them in play as possible for when I Bloodlust turn 5 or 6. So I can't have him picking these things off, basically. And there's a Grizzly, so I'm gonna have to waste a Lava Burst to kill that, pretty much. That's what we're gonna have to do. I can't afford to lose these Murlocs. They're super valuable. You saw how great it was last game where I had them all in play and they weren't taken out. You can just really overwhelm your opponent, but if he put... Oh my lord! Something else to take out my Murlocs. That is really rough. Let's take a look here. I can have each of us draw 2 cards. I can't do 5 damage to him this turn. To that creature, so I guess if I drop 2 of these. Ay. This is a tough spot, guys. Most certainly a tough spot. We're gonna play this right here. And then I'm gonna pass the turn. See what he does. So, contrary to what we saw in the first game, this game I've been tripped up a little bit early on, and it certainly puts you at a disadvantage, and that is the major weakness of this deck, is that if you're thrown even a little bit off your game, you can be in a really tough spot. He's gonna play a totem. It is a Searing Totem, which he will be able to use to pick off my minions, and he plays another Taunt creature there. Okay. So... what I'm actually going to do is I think I'm going to place down 2 Oracles. I want to get some Murlocs in my hand here. Okay. I am actually pretty happy with that. Alright, good. Let's pass the turn over. So I've got quite a few really good Oracles of Murlocs. I've got the Coldlight Seer there, I've got the Tidecaller, I've got the Bluegill Warrior. I still have that Murloc Raider. We're sitting on the Bloodlust. We've got 2 Flametongue Totems as well. So what he does this turn is going to be pretty significant. The big thing is going to be I'm going to Murloc Tidecaller, Bluegill Warrior, and then play this and the Coldlight Seer. We're going to get all that stuff in play next turn. And hopefully he bypasses my Murlocs and goes straight for me. That would actually be ideal. And he has done that. He killed off one of my Murlocs, but so far that's it. Let's see what else he's got though. He's gonna play a totem, and he's got 2 more resource with which to play around. Come on, keep my Murlocs alive. Don't kill another Murloc. Do anything but kill another Murloc. Okay, there we go. Alright, so this is pretty big. Ready? Whenever a Murloc is summoned, gain 1 attack. We've got 6 more to drop. I need the 3. 4, 5, 6 is what we can do. Let's go with this. This. And then the Coldlight Seer. To give them all +2 health. This was a very big turn for me. This was a significant turn for me. So, it is time for me to start picking off his stuff. We're gonna go, let's see here, what do I wanna do? go the 2 here. We will go and kill this guy as well. And then we get rid of this. That was a big swing. That was a major swing for me. This turn, if he clears the board this turn, I'm done. If he doesn't, I think we win next turn with Bloodlust plus a Flametongue Totem. I think next turn will be a victory for us. So let's take a look at what happens. He's gonna turn this one into an 0-1, so it loses its abilities. That was the one that pumped up my guy's +1, so that's a lot less damage. Let's see what else he's got though. He's gonna silence this minion, so it no longer gets pumped up, so that's down to a 1-2. He's really messing up my Murlocs, that's for sure. But I think we're still gonna have a lot of damage next turn. I can afford to do 5, 6, 7. So I can do a Flametongue Totem plus the Bloodlust. I'll have an 8th. I can Murloc Raider. We'll see what we draw into though. This is a big turn. This is a much more tense game than the first game. He plays a Totem. It's just a 1-1. Okay, so let's see what the draw is. It's a Windfury. Is Windfury going to be more damage than this? Let's take a look here. We're going to drop this. Windfury makes for 2 attacks. So, I could do 10, but if I do this, that's only going to be, yeah. Okay, here we go. We're going to Windfury, one of the 5 damage dealers. And this, I believe, is the win? I haven't calculated the damage yet, but it's going to be close if it's not the win. Here's 9 damage. Yep, this is the win. And this was a little bit tripped up, but still a great example of the strength of the Murloc Shock deck. Unreal, actually. That was a pretty crazy game. Okay, so I'd like to wrap things up here by showing you the deck list for Murloc Shock. So we're gonna hop into my collection, and here we go. So like I said, it's primarily focused on the Murlocs, and beyond that, we do have some assistance for them. So some of the assistance comes in the form of the Earth Shock here. Silencing a minion is huge. It gets rid of taunt, it gets rid of any effects that a minion has. So this is a very, very good creature control ability. Plus it's 1 damage to pick off small creatures if you so desire. We also have Hex for creature control, transforming an opposing minion into an 0-1 frog with taunt. You can do it to your own too if you needed a defensive creature, for example. And then we've got a Lava Burst. This is sort of creature control, but more so it's just a heck of a lot of damage. It's 3 resource for 5 damage. It does give you Overload 2, which will get rid of 2 of your mana crystals in the subsequent turn, but still it's 5 damage. It's a very good finisher. And the assistance for the Murlocs, we've got weapons like, we've got the Rockbiter, which I can find that here. The Rockbiter Weapon to give a friendly character +3 attack this turn. That, coupled with a Windfury, can be pretty ridiculous. And then we've got the Bloodlust, of course, which is ideally your game winner. Again, we're talking about a turn 4 or 5 Bloodlust as the ideal situation for a win, which is pretty much what you saw in that first game. And then, of course, we have the Murlocs. Grimscale Oracle to give other Murlocs +1. Murloc Raider, just a basic 2-1 Murloc. We've got the Murloc Tidecaller. This card is unreal. 1 resource for 1-2. Whenever another Murloc is summoned, it gets +1 attack. Unbelievable. Bluegill Warrior, it's a 2-1 charge Murloc, the Murloc Tidehunter. It's a 2-1 that summons another 1-1 Murloc in play when it drops. The Coldlight Oracle, each player draws 2 cards. Sounds negative, right? You just saw last game how dropping those to getting card advantage and filling up the board with Murlocs can be super beneficial for you. It worked out perfectly last game. The Coldlight Seer gives all of the Murlocs +2 health when it drops into play. The Murloc Warleader, this is like the bread and butter here. All of the Murlocs have +2/+1. Old Murk-Eye, the legendary Murloc, 2-4 with charge that gets +1 attack for each other Murloc in the battlefield, and that is that. So there you go, guys. That is the deck list here for the Murloc Shock deck. I've coupled it with a Shaman hero. You could build a variant of a Murloc deck. I think the Warlock deck is another, the Warlock hero is another one that would work very good for a Murloc deck. I've just found this particular deck list to be very solid. All right, so thank you so much for watching. In the future, we're going to do other deck spotlights when I come across various decks from the community or just ones that I've constructed myself. So there you go. Thank you so much for watching. If you like the content, please subscribe. And as always, keep watching and keep owning.